Chief Martinez Delgado.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Chief Martinez Delgado. I am the LCPO for Operational Medicine over at BHC NAFSA Norva, formerly known as Sewell's Point Clinic. You guys will know that so you guys don't get confused by the new name. Our operational hours are from 7 to 12. The reason for that is that after 12 o'clock, they close the doors because at that point, my guys need to send off any queries that need to be sent off to the gaining MTFs. So it's not that they go home early or anything like that. They're still there. They're just working to get all your stuff done. We're located on the second deck right behind aviation medicine. So if you go up to the second deck, you'll see aviation medicine. Ask them if you get lost. They'll send you right straight down the end of the hallway. When you do your operational screening, it's going to be a two-part process. Your part one is a walk-in basis. So whenever you're ready to come and do your part one, go ahead and show up. There's a couple of things that we normally ask for you to bring just to kind of make it a little bit easier so you're not coming in and we're turning you away and telling you that we can't take care of you. So some of those things are normally we ask you to bring your orders with you. Now, we understand that you guys don't have your orders yet and it may be a little while before you get them. So it's okay. Just go ahead and show up and let them know that you're with, what ship you're with, and they'll start taking care of you right then and there. Some of the items that your spouses are going to need to do are going to have, they're going to need to bring all their medical records with them, whether they're military, civilian. One of the things that I definitely want to make sure that I touch on, this will be a little bit later, are exactly what medical records they need to bring with them. After they're done, my guys will basically take a look at you, let you know what they need to screen for. So if they need immunizations, if they need an updated optometry exam for females, if they need any additional exams, they'll let you know at that point. So they'll say, okay, here's what you need, please go complete it. After you're done completing all of those items that they tell you that you need to have done, you need to come back in and walk in, and at that point, once they verify that everything's done, they'll book you an appointment with a provider, okay? Now, because you guys are the first ship that is going to be leaving, you guys are going to have first dibs on whatever available appointments we have, okay? We definitely encourage you to do it as soon as possible because February is right around the corner. So why do we screen? What's the reason that we're screening for all of you? We need to make sure that the gaining MTF that's gaining you is able to provide the needs that you have, whether it's your spouse, your children. We need to make sure that you are going to be happy when you get there. So that's one of the main reasons why we screen you, okay? Whether it's school as well, and I know they already briefed that on you. We'll explain some of the other documents that you're going to need if you have any special needs, children as well. The other reason why we screen is because we want to make sure that it decreases any early returns. Okay, this is very, very important. Sometimes we get members that don't want to disclose any information in their medical records because they're afraid that they're not going to be able to screen. You need to make sure that your spouses and your children are able to disclose everything. Okay, because you don't want to get there and then not be able to meet their demands, okay? So if they have a specific medical issue, they need to disclose it. It's very, very important. And I know the gaining MTF will touch a little bit more on that a little bit further. The other thing is, obviously we want to keep you happy. So the happier that you are, the happier that your family is, they don't have any medical issues, happy wife, happy life, right? So, okay, what are special needs? So basically any chronic condition is what qualifies as a special need. Why? Because you're going to need to be going back to seeing a specific provider. So that automatically kind of qualifies as, something chronic as a special need. Any mental health issues, because obviously some MTFs don't have the mental facilities or the capabilities to provide that care. So we definitely want to make sure that if they have any mental health issues, you go ahead and you disclose that. Developmental educational, this is mainly about your children, so if they're having any issues, we need to know about it. Adaptive equipment, so if there's any specific equipment that they need to use or they need to have, we also need to know that as well. And any wheelchair accessibility, again, anything that's considered special that you would think, if you have any doubt, please, please, please disclose that. So specifics of suitability screening. Every family member is going to get looked at separately, okay? So if you have two children with, and I'm just going to use this as an example because this happens a lot. You have two children and they both have asthma. One of your child may screen, the other one may not. And that just depends on where they are in the process of getting their care. So don't think that, well, this child screened and I don't understand why my other child didn't screen. There's a lot that goes into it, depending on like the age, where they are, how bad it is. So just keep that in mind, okay? And also, one location may be suitable, but not another. The reason for that, again, is capabilities. You know, just because they're an MTF doesn't necessarily mean that they have those facilities or those capabilities to provide that care. And a location may have capability at one time, but not another. Obviously, those hospitals or those MTFs are a lot smaller, so those providers may have already enough patients at that point. They cannot accept another patient. It's just, it'll overload them. So that may be one of the reasons why. One of the big things that we want to talk about today is EFMP. If you are an EFMP person and you already know, one, I need you to go and update your EFMP because that's going to be a major holdup for you to even get your orders. So if you already know that you are EFMP, you need to do that right away, okay? The other portion is if you think that you may be EFMP or you may qualify for the EFMP program, I definitely need you to come and see us as soon as possible and get this started. Because what we'll do at that point is we will actually liaison you with one of our EFMP coordinators to assist you with that process, okay? It is long, it's a lot of paperwork, so again, the faster you get it done and the sooner you do it, the better it'll be, okay? So this is very, very important. Most of the time, providers will tell you, hey, you might qualify for EFMP. Obviously, we're on shore duty, so sometimes providers may forget, or they just kind of like don't really want to tell you that you may qualify. So if you know that your family member, your spouse, or your child has some special issues, let us know. Even if you don't want to start the actual CDU screening process, just come let us know. We'll hook you up with an EFMP coordinator and you can start that process and see if you even qualify for that, okay? So family members, what do they require? Orders, again, like we just touched on this basis, you guys will not need that. And joining a service member already at an overseas or remote duty station. This is when you guys technically qualify for that. So we'll just touch on that. Make sure that if you are newly married or if you just had a baby, make sure that they're enrolled into DEERS, okay? That's very, very important because otherwise we cannot do anything with them. So if you haven't already enrolled them in DEERS, please make sure that you do that. And just another addition, a lot of times people think, oh, they're in my page too, but they haven't enrolled them in DEERS, you need to do both, okay? Suitability screening requirement information, this is what you guys all need to have. Military health records. Most of your military records are going to be in Alta, which is all computer-based, if you guys already know that. So if you guys don't have any actual military like in hand, just know that they're in Alta, no problems. But if your children and your spouse go out in town and see a civilian provider, they need to bring all of that information, okay? Specifically, I'm going to touch on mental health issues. Like I said, some facilities don't have that mental health capability to provide any assistance for them, so we need to make sure that we're looking at all of that paperwork. So make sure that you bring all of it, okay? And last but not least, dental. Dental is a big thing, especially for babies. So a lot of times people will come in and civilian providers specifically don't want to sign off the dental portion of it because their babies don't have teeth, which I see their point. However, they still need to make sure that they don't have any issues with their gums or any deformities, malformations, cleft palate, things like that. So we still need to have them sign off whether or not they have teeth. And annual physical exam. So again, if you are newly married and your spouse is healthy, she's never gotten seen for anything, please make sure that she goes and has a full physical exam because we're going to need to review that, okay? Part of the overseas duty screening, we, the provider, are not going